Hey everyone, MTash here, and today I wanted to talk about Mihoyo and Genshin Impact. This isn't necessarily a rant, because I'm really happy with a lot of the content they brought out recently. When they added Dragon Spine, I mean, this region was pretty fun to play. There's secrets, there's awesome stuff. Then they did an event where you could get a really cool sword, but that went away. And then, you know, like the hypostasis or hypostasis or whatever you want to call it? Well, then they did an arena where you could juice up the difficulty and fight different elements and fight all of them at the same time. And that was pretty cool content. But that got taken away. And now, with these, what do you want to call it, tower defense? I don't know. I've heard a rumor that it's going to stay in the game. I don't know if they've officially said it. I've heard a rumor that it's staying in the game. But they've made an entire system here, right? With upgrades, okay? There's upgrades and different maps and different strategies, and I would say that this is a pretty damn good piece of content. And no, maybe you don't want to grind this out 24/7, and no, it's not the same as the normal Genshin Impact experience where you run in, throw a venti ult, and then watch everything die, but I feel like this has a lot of value, and just flat out deleting it seems like a big waste of time. It seems like a waste of development time, but also, some people probably love this. I think it's really cool. Is it the most fun thing ever? No. Maybe not. Might not be the best thing I've ever played. But even if you added a couple of resources, if you could just earn a few little treats here and there, I feel like this would be a big piece of content that people could come and enjoy, you know, week after week. For example, if you look at all the events in the past, there is typically a market like this that people can use and get a bunch of rewards. And this doesn't require any resin whatsoever. What if they just brought back, you know, the basic stuff, some Mora, some Hero's Wit, maybe a couple things, and you could do it once a week, maybe even once a month. I don't know what they would do, but I feel like this is too good of content to just trash it after a couple of weeks. Now, I understand they want you to buy resin, they want you to spend those primo gems, but I think that the player base as a whole would love to have more ways to earn resources like this in-game. Everything, progression-wise, is gated behind resin. And so adding just a few of these things that would give us a way to grind out some experience books and some Mora and try out a couple different characters, I think it would go a long way. Because the more characters they add, the harder it is to have enough resources to even touch them. I've got characters that I want to use them, but I just can't. I have to be smart with my resources. I have to make sure that I'm not being too greedy with them and spending them everywhere. And I think that stuff like this would be really good. But it doesn't stop just there. Now, they've got basic stuff like this that I understand is a quick little event. You get some wishes. That's cool. I understand why these things go away. Now, the ley line overflow. Again, I understand that this is a seasonal or a small little event and it goes away. Something like this I can understand going away because essentially all they've done is enter a little code and say, hey, these drop extra, you know, a couple times a day. This isn't like they coded a whole new thing, created a whole new piece of content. It's not that big a deal if it comes and then leaves. I understand that it's sweet and you want to take advantage of this when it's here, but something like this doesn't seem that big of a deal. Things like this. I don't understand why something like this has to go away in 5 days and 16 hours when this thing launches. They've built an entire system here that, in my opinion, is more interesting than the regular expeditions, but then it's just going to go away. Why? You've spent all this time building an awesome little thing, probably, in my opinion, an upgrade on what we currently have. Keep it in the game! People are probably going to interact with this more, and I understand making these little seasonal things, it kind of gets people hyped up and going, but if you're making these improvements or making these cool things to do, it seems really backwards that it just goes away, and you can't interact with it anymore, and it's like they're wasting all this time developing these things that just go away in the blink of an eye. This is another thing. They built a really cool system here where you could jack up the difficulty. If you guys missed this event, there was a bunch of rewards for getting different points. You could go in here. Let me find a good spot. There we go. You could go in here and jack up the difficulty and fight the bosses and make them much harder. This is a great system. You could literally add this to the Spiral Abyss. You could add these multipliers to so many different things in this game, but now it's just gone. And maybe they reintroduce it, right? Once they've built something like this, I'm sure they can reintroduce it, but I feel like they've created a really cool thing, and they could really utilize it, but it's just gone. And even if it was the exact same event, if they just literally brought this event back, and it was a permanent thing that you could do once a week, I guarantee people would complain less about resin, because I know that not everyone has time like me to grind all day or play all day or stream it, right? But if you could play this once a week, you know, maybe there's a challenge each day, but it was that extra 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes of free content that you can get some rewards, and it feels like you're doing something meaningful, people would be way happier with the game. And I've been questioning why this keeps happening. They've made probably 3 or 4 different cool things. You know, boss fights, like the big Pyro Regispine, they added a couple little mechanics. That was a cool fight to unlock all the rewards of Dragon Spine and get the upgraded sword. That was a cool piece of content. Was it mind-blowing and game-changing? Maybe not, but let people fight that flower. You know, maybe it's on a big cooldown of 12 hours or something like that, but just let them fight it. Get a couple little rewards. I don't know. But they need to start adding some of these things in the game to do when you don't have resin, because when these events are going on, everyone's jacked. Everyone's excited, getting Mora, getting books, because they don't have to spend resin. It gives them something to do in between while they're waiting, and there isn't enough of those little mini games to keep you busy. Right now, you log in, you use your resin, you maybe kill some hilichurls, you maybe kill a couple ruin guards, and then you get off, because there's just nothing else meaningful to do. And I know I've been complaining about this stuff a little bit, but I would just love to see Mihoyo keep some of this, because, you know, I feel this way because I like it. It's good. You guys nailed it. Like, you created a really cool thing, and it's such a shame that not only people that are new to the game don't get to play it, but people that enjoy it, it just goes away. Maybe they want that fear of missing out. Maybe that's in their game plan. It just doesn't feel great experiencing that over and over and over again. I understand that maybe turrets aren't for everyone, but I honestly would love to play that once a week and get a couple of extra items. That's pretty much it, though. There's not much more to say other than, you know, keep making cool stuff. Like, come on, I love the events. I really do. They're sweet. But just give us a little treat. You know, keep it in the game a little bit. Give us some more time with it. Let us interact with it long term if possible. And as long as it doesn't, like, bloat the game like crazy and make it, you know, unpatchable, then I don't see the point. Now, I've seen some people argue that it's because of mobile and they don't want the game to, balloon to a crazy size, and I get it. But I think honestly, even mobile players, if they could keep a couple of these things, they'd probably be happy. It'd probably be worth it. People would be able to play this game more as their main game instead of just like a little side job or a little side hobby or whatever you want to call it. And, maybe you'll profit more because they're playing your game more and like it more. I don't know. I'm just saying, Mihoyo, I don't think it would be a big game-changing loss for you by adding a couple megabytes on here and there so I could fight a new boss. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm ranting at this point. I'm just raving. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you wonder where I get all my energy from, Advanced GG. I have my own energy. Look at this. This is me. That's me on there. The MTash Mango Splash is for sale right now. And all you got to do is go to advanced.gg/mtashed. Links are down below. And use code MTash for 10% off. They've got some amazing flavors on there, and I think you'll enjoy. Thanks again. See you soon. Bye-bye.